Hey, welcome to the Cybersky. Greetings, everyone. Thanks for coming to my birthday podcast. Let's get that chat jumped off. Welcome to the Cybersky, my birthday podcast. The Cybers. Oh, I had to turn off. I had to mute something, get some feedback. Yeah, thanks for coming to the Cybersky podcast. Okay, sorry about that. Wow. Who knew? I'm new to this podcasting thing. This is episode 1. This is officially episode 1. And let me put up my birthday cake. Let's add that. Boom. Definitely. All right. So go up in the chat. Let me know you're here. Post any kind of comments. And I don't have a moderator today or anything. I'm in here just, just trying to operate all the controls on this new thing that I'm using called StreamYard. Some of you might use it also if you have podcasts out there. But yeah, last week the Cybersky podcast took the world by storm when I spontaneously launched the series by going live. Sunday, January 17th, it was around 7 p.m. and with what I called episode -1. As far as I know, I'm the first and only person to do an episode -1. I believe that I explained that to you. So I'll try to be festive today, but I'm going to need my headphones so that I can really run the show a little better. And let's check the mic. Oh, sounds okay. So one thing that's different this week that you might notice is my microphone. I'm going to talk about a little bit about that later, what I'm using, but just to give you a clue, I'm a big fan of the Joe Rogan podcast, and I was thinking about what microphone I should get, and he had a big influence on me. This is not the exact mic that Joe Rogan uses, but it's related to it. So we'll talk about that in a little while. But it is my birthday tomorrow. Hey, peace, Mark. I see you in there. Happy pre-birthday. Thanks a lot. Tomorrow is my birthday, the 25th, and I'm doing the podcast every Sunday, so I can't do a show on Monday because I work. Those of you that know, I work public school. Hey, DJ Fritzo in the house. Thanks, bro. So, yeah, Sunday, it's the pre-birthday, but this is my birthday party, basically, and you guys were invited, and I appreciate you dropping in. Now, episode -1, I want to go on record. Now, if I want to go on record saying that I created that. If somebody finds another podcast that has an episode -1 that came out before this one, let me know. But there is something called episode 0. Hey, hi, China, love you. And episode 0 can be used as a trailer. It can be used as an introduction to your podcast. And sometimes you just start your podcast and you do a few episodes, and then you say, okay, I never really told everyone about me and why I'm doing the podcast and what it's going to be about and everything. I just jumped right in. So then you could pre-record, or you could go live and do an episode 0, and then you could upload that later. But if your podcasts are numbered, and you're up to number 7 or 8 or something, and then you go back, you don't want it to be number 9, you put it as episode 0, and it lets new people know if they just came to your podcast that they can go and play that one, and they can find out everything about your podcast and who you are, and then they can decide they want to subscribe and watch the rest of them, and listen to your channel. Now, this is not episode 0. Today, this is episode 1. And we're going to keep going live every Sunday. Right now, I'm saying 4 o'clock. So it's going to be Sunday at 4 o'clock every week. If that changes in the future, I'll let you know. Hey, Mikhail, what's up? So episode -1 was like our test run, but it was a real show. And it came out really, really dope. I have a funny story to tell you about that. But first, let me shout out Demogeny, who's a YouTuber and a podcaster. He has his channel. I'm gonna type it in the chat actually. Demogeny, DMAJINI. He had me on his podcast a few weeks ago, and that was kind of to show me the ropes on how to use this StreamYard thing. Because those of you who know me for a while, you know that I've done radio. I did Celestial Radio back in the day. And then I did the MCMI radio on the 6-Man radio network, on Blog Talk Radio. So I've done shows before. I've done various things, but I've never used StreamYard. And Demogeny kind of helped me get comfortable with that. Hey, Fritz, I see you. I'll hit you up later. I'll hit you up later. So this week, this birthday podcast is episode 1 officially. And to kick it off, I'm going to start with some birthday stuff. And then we're going to talk about the Bernie memes. I know some of you came here for Bernie. And also today in this episode, we're going to discuss SMART goals. That's an acronym. I'm going to tell you what the acronym stands for. But basically, it's a strategy. And it's taught to people. I guess life coaches use it. I use it as a middle school teacher with my 7th grade students, as do the other teachers in my school, to help people achieve their goals, to help them plan and strategize, set up a schedule to actually get things done. Okay. How many times have you guys made a goal, in your mind, and you always have it in the back of your mind, but you're never really working on it? You're procrastinating. You're like, oh, this year I'm going to lose weight. This year I'm going to start a podcast. Whatever your goal is, you have to take steps towards it. And sometimes you can get to your goal sporadically if you just work on it every so often, but it's not really going to get done in a timely manner unless you really create a SMART goal. And we're going to talk about that later in the podcast. So the first thing I want to talk about before we get to the SMART goals and the Bernie memes is what I want for my birthday. Now, I don't want any material items. I put that in the description. You guys probably read that. My wife got me a lot of really great gifts. I bought myself a present. This is my birthday present right here, this new microphone. Let me lift it up real quick. Okay, this is my new mic. And you only see me small? Okay. Hey, put in the chat. Let me know how you're seeing the podcast. Oh, that's okay. No, that's okay. Hey, my wife, she's doing tech for me. Often when she does her Zoom classes, she teaches art classes and sewing online. I do tech for her. So today she's running tech for me in the other room, just making sure that everything goes smoothly. Thanks, sweetie. So what was I talking about? Oh, so for my birthday, I don't need any gifts. I got myself some cool things, and my wife got me a nice present, several. She's going to make me wait till tomorrow to open them, but what I want from all of you is very important. So listen up. There's 2 ways that you can support me or give me a little, hey, here's a little birthday gift. It doesn't have to cost anything really. The first way is you could donate to my nonprofit organization, donate to charity. I have a nonprofit called Stairs Academy. Let me put it up on the share. And Stairs Academy was originally started to work on education in a way that we created a charter school. So I had an idea for a school. I have several friends who are, administrators and educators and are really knowledgeable in all different aspects of business and things like that. So I got a team together, people who saw the vision for the new school, and they're like, yeah, this is a great idea. Let's do it. I went to the Department of Education, and they, at that time, I think this was late 2016, like at the end of the year, close to December, they were like, we're not really opening new schools right now. We're putting all that on hold because there's no school closings. Since there's no school closings, we're not going to be opening a lot of schools. So they told me, why don't you talk to the Department of Charter Schools? Now, at the time, I was surprised. I was like, I thought DOE and charter were against each other, but that was just one of the myths that I would find out about the charter movement. And that like DOE and charter are mortal enemies. No, they work together. They are both public schools. They just have different organizational structures. Let's put it that way. So, and I don't want to do a whole show on that. But basically, that started off us doing Stairs Academy. I incorporated as a nonprofit first. Then my team took the training, and we started to learn how to put together a proposal for a charter school. I was looking to share it, but I'm not seeing it up on the screen share. So let's see. What if I do that? No, that doesn't work either. All right. So after a while, we started to do other things. So we started working on some after-school programs. I started an internship program, which has now seen like 30 to 40 different interns who are mostly college graduates or people in college working on their degree. And they come and they work for the nonprofit, and they do stuff like help us develop our website. I think I can now see the screen share. I had to make some changes on my settings, but I got it now. Tell me if you guys can see this. Let's put that on the stream. Yeah. So this is the website for Stairs Academy. Now, this is a new website. You guys are seeing this in advance. This is not really out there yet. Our old website was for the charter school. And after we found out that the charter cap got hit and we couldn't open a charter school right now because they're not allowing any more of those to open, then the Department of Education said, we're going to open new regular public schools again. Why don't you come back to us and do a Stairs Academy public school application? So we're in the process with Imagine Schools working on that. That was put on hold for COVID, but they just emailed me yesterday that they're finally ready to start working on that again. I haven't even told anyone. I figured I'd just announce it during this podcast. Imagine NYC Schools is going to pick up its work and continue working towards the creation of new public schools in New York City. So along the way, we started making these videos on Cybersky videos, and you guys should be able to go to Cybersky and check out all of the videos that we have. I'm pulling up the website. This website, cybersky.org, was built by our tech interns, our web development team, over 2 different semesters. It was started and then last semester it was finished. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. They did a great job. I also have to shout out James and Jake at Rehash Studio. There were a few little things I needed tweaking that I couldn't get working, and I had to hire them to do some tech work behind the scenes, and they really helped me, especially with the slider and the slider art. So we're getting back to what you can do for my birthday. So there's 2 ways you can support, and let me just look in the chat real quick. LR Blitzkrieg, you're Jake, my brother, Jacob Rockowitz. What's up? Tata says, how about open online remote school? Good. You hit it on the head. We're working on that right now. Baron Hathshire, yes, happy birthday. Thank you. Appreciate that. So the 2 ways, besides coming to this podcast, which I appreciate everyone in here did, helping me do this episode 1, is you can donate to our nonprofit org. I'm going to put up the PayPal on the screen, okay? And I think I'm going to throw this into the chat if anyone wants to check it out. You don't have to donate. I got a second thing. If you don't have money to donate right now, I'm not stressing that, but that is there. So I thought I'd be remiss if I didn't at least let you know about that option. So, you know, throw something in the PayPal. That helps us to fund the internships, work on the website, the online learning academy that we're developing right now. It helps us to fund more individual workshops and activities. I recently did a workshop in Belgium. Shout out to Baba Israel, who facilitated that, teaching educators in Belgium and artists, musicians, hip hop artists who are working together doing after school programs in schools, helping them to use Google Classroom. So we did a whole workshop on Google Classroom plus other online tools that make learning really engaging during the pandemic when they're going online. So anything you donate funds things like that. It just helps us move forward with our school creation as well. So that'd be appreciated. The other way is just support my movements this year. Like I have a lot of movements. For people that are into hip hop music, go to mcmireport.com. I'm going to put that in the chat. You know, if you're not into hip hop music, but you support the educational work that I'm doing with my team, you know, go to Stairs Academy, social media. If you support these videos and this podcast, hit up and subscribe to the YouTube on Cybersky Videos. Also follow our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and it's all Cybersky Videos, at Cybersky Videos, all one word, for the socials for Cybersky. The Stairs Academy ones are reversed because there's a company in India that has the social media Stairs Academy, even though their name is not exactly Stairs. It's like the Stairs After School Academy, something like that. So they had Stairs Academy on Twitter, I think. So I made all of the Stairs Academy not URLs, address. I don't know what you call those when you put the @ sign. Name, somebody school me in the chat. What do you call your address of your social media? Anyway, it's at Academy Stairs. I'll put that in there. So I just flipped it backwards, and I wanted it to stay the same on all platforms. So until I get that company to give me Stairs Academy, then or to stop using it, then it's going to be Academy Stairs on everything. So that's on everything everywhere. If you have LinkedIn, connect with us at Stairs Academy on LinkedIn, or connect with me personally, Graham Cybersky. And just follow, like, engage, leave comments on posts. Let's put up MCMI report. And you can see my handles are on the screen at Cybersky Videos and at GMS_MCMI. You should be able to see that. Let me know if you're not seeing it. But this is the MCMI report one. And these are basically different ways you can engage with me this year, no matter what your interests are. If you're into health and fitness, if you're into education, if you're into technology, then engage with me on Cybersky Videos. If you follow me as a musician, GMS of MCMI Records, follow me at GMS_MCMI. Follow at MCMI Report, and get involved. Listen to my music this year. Listen to music that I've produced for other artists. Listen to, like, I put up that on MLK Jr. birthday, I put up a song that Chords Cadero is singing on that I produced and played flute on. It's called Freedom. That's on my Instagram, and that's on our Bandcamp. So, go listen to those things and support, basically. That's all. I'm not even asking you necessarily to buy anything, but I'm also, as co-founder of MCMI Records, I'm executive producer of a lot of music that's on there that's not featuring me as an artist. So we got the Sixers. Let's see if you can see that. Let me put that up there. We got the Sixers project just dropped. That's from LR Blitzkrieg and the Bad Seed. Shouts to him. Let me see. I'm going to scroll down here. Yeah, we got Chords Cadero. The song Freedom that I talked about is on this. Here it is, the black cover right there. Got our Old Plague mixtapes from those who followed us in the 90s and early 2000s. Of course, PH, Pumpkinhead, RIP, PH Forever. You can find his album that we put out on MCMI Records on there. The Marksman has a mixtape. We got Transitions by Keith Wildchild Middleton. We got a lot of music. The Love Is mixtape. The song with Dominion, shouts to Q&5 Records as well. Dominion and HYDRA. We did a record called 12. That's on there. And, just go browse through that. Check it out if you want to support the music. And I am working on new music. And right now the status is the audio is being mastered and the videos are being edited. We've shot one song, Come to the Teacher. That's going to come out soon. We've got Circle of Life, 90% shot, and we're in the editing process before we shoot the last 10%. A few other songs, I'm not remembering them right now, but I got a song with Substantial. Shout out to Substantial Music. So basically, more music is coming. But, just wherever you know me from, and if you know me from all of those things, go subscribe or like or follow on Instagram or all of those things, because it helps the algorithm. Even if you don't go on Instagram a lot or you don't use Twitter, but you have an account, like, just log in, search for these, accounts, these handles. Thank you, Mark. And just support them. Just hit like, check out a few photos, like them, drop a comment, because that builds the algorithm's momentum and it will actually show it to more people because you engage. So I appreciate that. Now let's have a little bit of fun. There's too much business, but let's talk about these Bernie memes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share some of the best Bernie memes I found out there, and then I want you guys to put, if you have a meme either on your account or if you found one that you just thought was the best one, I want you to throw the link, like paste the URL into the chat. Now, the chat won't be clickable when you do it, but as far as I know, if I copy and paste it and put it in there, let me see if I can copy and paste. Let's see, show, put user block. No, it doesn't let me copy. Okay, I'll type it. So put the URL in there, and then I'll try to link it. And then other people can at least see the URL and go to it and see the one that you guys think is the best. All right. Now, for those that don't know what I'm talking about, I don't know if you've been living under a rock, but Bernie Sanders has been popping up all over social media and all over the internet. basically, you know, he was cold during the inauguration. It's social distancing, so everyone's sitting far apart from each other. And he's bundled up in this frumpy gray coat. He's got these knitted mittens that a teacher, a second grade teacher, made for him and gave him, and he's wearing them. They're really warm, and he's just bundled up like this. You're going to see it in a second. And people just felt like that metaphorically was such a strong message. Like, first of all, when you're really progressive and you're really fighting for the people and you're a politician and you're not just out there for self, but you're really trying to do the real work, you're far and few in between, and you're probably alone in all your issues. But Bernie has been fighting for these same issues alone for over 30 years, and now people are joining him, but he's been fighting this fight alone for a long time. So the fact that he looks very distanced, you know, kind of sheds light on that. The fact that he doesn't care about what his clothes look like. He's not into fashion. He said, look, it's very cold in Vermont, and we know something about cold and staying warm. And so he wore what was going to keep him warm. And he probably was also really bored, like, okay, it's an inauguration, I got to support, but let's get down to business. We got to give $2,000 to each person, you know, in the country, and we have to pass legislation to raise minimum wage, and we got to, you know, work on healthcare and all those things that he's fighting for, you know, college tuition. So he's like about the business of actually, you know, using his time on this earth to like make a change. And so that's great that that he's doing that. But let's look at some of the memes. I've talked enough. And you guys let me know as we're going through them. If you have a favorite one or you think that one is like the best one, let me know. And then after I show the memes, I'm going to put up a bunch of memes that I created and I haven't put them out yet. And they don't have any captions. So I need your help. So I want you to caption those memes for me. All right. So first, let's just share a couple of memes in general. Let's see. Let's put this one up. So these memes, this is not the Bernie memes, but I just wanted to let people know, you know, what a meme is. If there's some older folks on here that are not, you know, on the internet like that, somehow they made it to my podcast. I appreciate you. So basically, you put up an image or something. A meme could even just be a saying, and it could be a video. But like, here's one that I thought was funny: when you voted for a travel ban and end up part of the travel ban, referring to the people who did the insurrection at the Capitol, and then they were picked up at the airport later. All right. So all right, let's go to the Bernie ones. All right. Bernie. Oh, that one's too good. I don't want to. Yeah. All right. I got a couple I'm going to save for the end. Like those are the best ones. All right. So you can vote on these, or, you know. So here's our first Bernie meme of today. All right, it's just about the googly eyes. Look, his hand became a puppet. All right. I'm not saying they're not all brilliant, but some of them are. So just give me a moment as I'm working my multiple windows on here to get to the one that we're looking at. So let me know if you think this one is the best one. And okay, I got my caption this. Oh man. Too many windows. I actually needed to do this with two, you know, different computers and windows. I'm going to do that next time because finding it difficult to find this one. Let me see what it says right here. Screenshot. Okay. Hey, you know, I'm trying to find a window on my computer and I can't find it, so you can't help me with that. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that one for a minute. And I'm going to put up this other one that I created. So here's the only one that I created so far. It's not really a laugh, hilarious, haha meme. It's just, I just felt like Bernie was in the spotlight because everyone was talking about him. He gave this great speech telling the Republicans, look, you used executive order to pass all your stuff that you wanted and to give corporate tax breaks and all that. And you've used, you know, your majority in the House and the Senate for years when you guys had both to pass all the things you want. We're going to use it to give what we want to the people, to help the people who are struggling during this pandemic. And if you don't come over and help us and be bipartisan, we'll use executive order. We'll use our majority, you know, as well. But if you want to take some credit for fixing the situation that we're in, work with us. But we're not gonna ask you twice. If you guys are not doing it, then we're just gonna go ahead without you. So I put Bernie in the spotlight. That was for mine. And here it is. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to share this one again. We're going to go through about 20 of them really quick. These are the best that I could find. They may not be the best to you, but these. And by the way, when I play the videos later, I'm not going to play audio because YouTube will get mad at that. All right, so we got the level of unbothered I aspire to be all of 2021. And that was another thing. He looks very unbothered. He's just, chilling, sitting there. All right. This could have been an email, he's thinking. All right. When you see one you like, throw up in the chat and tell me if that one should win, like, for the best one. Jennifer Lopez in her 50s, me in my 20s. All right. We all know Bernie's old. He's really strong, though. He continues to work for us. So as you can tell, I'm a fan. Bernie Sanders. It's not a political show, but Bernie at Union Square. I like Bernie Sanders. I feel like he's a good politician to talk about because he's kind of liked by everybody. He's the most popular senator in the country when they show approval ratings. He's been the most popular for years and years. And, the left loves him, of course. The moderates, they need him. So they need him on his side because he works and gets things done and, he's popular. And the right respects him. Even Donald Trump during his campaigns always said, like, I respect Bernie. He's the only one that really is telling the truth and means what he says. I don't agree with his solutions or his politics, but I respect him. And, a lot of people who were not, I don't know if it's a lot, I don't know the numbers, but some people who were Trump supporters who actually voted for Trump in 2016, they considered voting for Bernie too. And some people did leave and go over and vote for Bernie and vice versa. So because he's a populist and he's fighting for the people. And a lot of people voted for Trump because he was a pretend populist. So they got fooled by him, in my opinion. If you don't agree with me, we can argue about that on Facebook. See me there. I go in with the political arguments. But basically, there's not much you can say bad about him. What could you say bad about Bernie? So, hey, he's at Friends. He's on the TV show Friends. A lot of people have been making really good artwork. Dolls, drawings, caricatures. There's one. All right. I should have been president. Change my mind. That one's funny. That one, when I first saw it, I laughed. I was like, what else we got here? All right. He's real small at the top. I don't know if you can see him here. It doesn't stop. Bernie Sanders means. Some people I've actually cut out their Twitter or their social media handle. So Torben, when you got a shout out. I don't know these people. They just had the meme up and I cropped it out and gave it to them. So yeah, there's Bernie in the background while Biden's signing some stuff. Hey, Bernie on the set of Friday. Chris Tucker. All right, you can caption that one. There's no caption on that. Yeah, Chena says his politics have been very consistent for years. Yep, that's true. Star Wars. Love it. I love it. Now, if you guys are Star Wars fans, definitely go to my man Dimogenized podcast on YouTube. It's called Spellbroken. And he also has another one that he does. So he does 2 a week called The Dark Council. All right. And that's with him and several of his colleagues. It's a lot of them. They discuss the continuing Star Wars sagas. They critique movies that they don't like, or they talk about canon and different things like that. So definitely, they've done episodes about The Mandalorian. So go check that out. The Dark Council and Spellbroken are his 2 podcasts. And if you're a Trekkie, there he is. On Enterprise, this is the Next Generation. And did you guys know that even though he's old, Bernie Sanders is quite athletic, and he actually competes in some winter events? I don't know if you saw this one. It's kind of cold. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why he wore the coat. He can survive these temperatures. Hey, Vita, how are you? Hope everything's good over there at Slope Music. And speaking of the Dark Council, so here's the Jedi Council. So I don't know who was sitting here. Was it Mace? Who? No, there's Mace. Who did they remove to put Bernie in the Jedi Council? That's a funny one. And you guys know that Bernie is from Brooklyn. That's another reason why, you know, I'm in his corner, you know. Even though he moved to Vermont later in his life and became a senator there, he's born and raised in Brooklyn. And here he is proof right here. He's on the F train. If you recognize the seats, you know, that's the F train of a certain era. Bernie feeds the pigeons. So some of these have captions. Leonard, he's in my spot. All right. If you guys are fans of Big Bang Theory, let me know. Anybody watch Big Bang Theory? That's one of my favorite shows right now. So the ones that don't have a caption, I'm going to ask you guys to come up with some captions for in a little bit. But here we are. Another television show, Game of Thrones. Now, my boy Keith Wildchild Middleton, he's got a band called Levels. They did a meme where they put him in their band, and Wildchild said Bernie's on bass. But actually, you guys might not have known, Bernie actually plays the drums. I got proof of it right there. And he was, not only was he on Friends and Big Bang Theory and Game of Thrones, he was on Cheers, if you guys didn't know. All right, me waiting for my 2000. Yeah, let me know if you relate. Republicans, radical left Antifa socialists are going to take over the country, establish communism, and kill us all. Meanwhile, radical left Antifa socialists look like this in their mittens. And this is just to show you, like, this is not a meme. I just threw this in there because Bernie's out there in the cold, hitting the streets. He's out there working for the people every day, all day, 7 days a week, 24/7. And I appreciate him for that. Here's a little crocheted Bernie character. I think these are for sale because I've seen many of them in different positions. So I think people purchased them and then put them up. And they're not all put up by the same person. So Bernie on his little scooter. And what would you caption this? What would you caption this one, you know, on the scooter? Oh, kitty. All right. Socialist is as socialist does. And you got Conor McGregor over here. He's looking like if these memes don't stop. Forrest Gump. All right, I'm going to go by real quick for the rest of these. I'm not going to talk a lot about them, but okay, Bill and Ted. You got the dog. Gandalf. All right, this one's funny. We're going to read it. Posh Spice, Baby Spice, Scary Spice, Ginger Spice, Sporty Spice, Old Spice. Yeah, some of them stand out. There's Bernie in the studio working on his new album. Dropping next week. And then here he is. What the? I've never been to any of these places. That one's good. See, some of them are more creative because if you just put Bernie in the mittens and in the chair and you just stick him somewhere, you know, anyone could do that. Thank you for the birthday wishes. And, you know, but some of them are more creative because they do something like this. There's a few you'll see. This one's very creative. I'll give a second for you to get that. All right. There's the chair. So someone had to get a chair, get the gloves separate, get the snake, you know. Mm-hmm. Those are a little higher. This one's pretty good. If you guys follow memes, you know the cat meme, the white cat. All right. Baby Yoda, again, Mandalorian fans. Baby Yoda chilling with Bernie. Bernie, he gets busy. Like, you guys don't sleep because he's old. He will put you in a headlock and it's night. And I got him on more than one occasion taking out Conor McGregor. So basically, this is Bernie's explanation. In Vermont, we know something about the cold, and we're not so concerned about good fashion. So that's good. I mean, people were criticizing the president because he wore a Rolex at the inauguration. You know, oh, he has an expensive watch. He's all about money. He's not going to be caring about the common man. You know, so I don't know if I agree with that, but definitely Bernie is not into material items. Enough with the fakakta memes already. All right, for my Jewish friends, they know what fakakta means. If you don't know what that means, get a Jewish friend and ask them. I always saw that one already. Breaking Bad, one of my favorite TV shows all time. Loved Breaking Bad. Maybe you guys can slightly figure out why. He was a teacher, then he becomes this big, criminal empire bad guy, shaves his head. But he's everywhere. Bernie's everywhere. He is in the rings of Saturn. And even though he's old, he's up on the new dances. He knows about pop culture. Bernie on the F train is real. Yes, Macau, that was the realest one to me, because it doesn't look like they stuck him there. It looks like he really was on the train, and he probably did ride that train a lot. That one hit home. Golden Girls, Bernie. Uh-oh, what are you up to, Bernie? And of course, Bernie, King of Thrones, for all his followers. I know this one was really felt by the people who were mad that he lost against Hillary, the primary, and they kind of cheated him in the primaries, and people are still upset that he wasn't the nominee. But he's doing good work, so he's not dead. He wasn't the nominee. He's still in government, and he's still influencing and changing the game for everyone. So he can be on the throne. One small step for Bernie, one giant step for mankind. That's what I would write if I was putting this up. So, like, Bernie on the F train is real. That's a good caption for the F train one. And this one. Oh, yeah. So Vita pointed out, and I'm going to show that now, since you brought it up in the chat, that Bernie's selling these shirts with the meme. But it's not what you think. It's not like to make money off of them. I'm going to put up an explanation of that, what you said. Here it is. So basically, Bernie Sanders threw his meme on a sweatshirt. He charged $45 for it. It sold out immediately in all sizes. Then he donated 100% of the proceeds to Meals on Wheels Vermont. Okay, this is leadership. He's like, hey, people are going crazy with these memes. Somebody's probably going to make money off of this. The mittens sold out immediately. Like the woman who made the mittens, she's like, I don't have any more mittens. Thanks, though. So yeah, he threw the meme on a shirt himself. Who's going to tell him not to? It's his picture. And raise money for Meals on Wheels, which serves meals to people who are either elderly and they can't get out and they have trouble shopping and have trouble cooking, and they need help, or people who have disabilities. So Meals on Wheels pulls up with food for you. So that's a great charity. So I'm looking to go back. Here's kind of like the original picture. Oh, no, that's the one with the dog. All right. Let's go back here. So thanks for bringing that up, Vita. So I like this one a lot because, like I said, just pasting, that's very creative. Just pasting the same cutout, it's still funny. You can still be creative with that. But the ones that don't just do that and have a little twist to it, I really like. This is a resting point. Bernie Sanders wearing mittens has not been edited into this photo yet. All right. I want you to look at something. Okay, Mandalorian fans will recognize that. Of course, see, that's more creative. Just put the mittens on Grogu, on Baby Yoda, as we call him. Anybody here watch the Mandalorian series? I love that. And I like this one because it really does look like he's selling hats. Like, this is a lot of times these street vendors, especially if it's very cold out and nobody's passing by and buying a hat for a while, and you're just kind of sitting there like, come on, people. And that's just like a perfect, I don't know. You don't need to caption it. I just like that one. This one's funny. Your post goes against our community guidelines. We've removed your post because it does not depict Bernie Sanders sitting on something. So, of course, back in the MMA ring. All right. Sanford and Son. Anybody who plays games would know there's gamers. Can't remember the name of this one. What game is this, McCall? You know? Did you play that? Maybe Mark knows. He was on the Cosbys. Meanwhile, Biden is feeling left out. You know, guys, I've got mittens too. All right, we're not following you right. When you wake up and realize you're still not rich. That's a good one. I am Ashley H. Williams. Very nice. And then some people really got creative with the arts. Here's a little thumbnail. Literally a thumbnail. It's a thumbnail of a thumbnail, actually, now that I think about it. Never-ending stories. And I don't know if you guys know that I talk about martial arts on the podcast a lot. And shout out to my Sifu Carl Albright and the whole Iron Mantis clan and the Law clan and 7-Star Mantis and Hungar schools. So, you know, Bernie actually has a little bit of interest in Kung Fu. And I don't know if you guys know, you thought it was Yip Man, but it actually was Bernie who taught Bruce Lee everything he knows. This is the traditional Sifu and student pose. So Bernie is the teacher in this pose. All right, with Bruce Lee. And shout out to the Bad Seed and LR Blitzkrieg's new release, The Sixers on MCMI Records. They threw this one. It's not a Bernie meme, but I just wanted to throw it in there. Kamala swearing in. And I swear on the Bible, you know, that the Bad Seed and LR Blitzkrieg Sixers project is fire. Yep. Here we have Friends. If you guys don't know about that project, it's produced entirely by Knots. He's a really dope producer. And go to mcmi.bandcamp and you can see that. Here we go at the Krabby Patty Shack. This one got a lot of attention because, again, it shows Bernie with the common man. He's a steel monkey above the city on a skyscraper being erected. Yeah. When you get baptized, but the water's too cold. Okay, the Bernie mixtape, graduation mixtape coming out soon. And when someone tries to talk to me and I'm listening to my podcast, it's like, what? I don't want to hear it. All right, we're almost done here. A few more. This one's pretty funny. It's just Dolly Parton giving the doing his hair. I see Bernie everywhere. All right, the Big Lebowski. Simba, Lion King. Yeah. Oh, this one got me too. Because, you know, a lot of me just go, oh, that's cool, whatever. This one, I almost choked on what I was eating when I saw this one. It's the looters in the Capitol. They grabbed Bernie. They were taking him out instead of the podium. I'm going to leave that one for a few more seconds. That's hilarious. So I think that might be my favorite one. I don't know. But I have one favorite. I left it for the end. But I want to know if you guys agree or what your favorite is. And, of course, the original Weekend at Bernie's makes perfect sense. Okay, I saw a couple different ones. There's different scenes from Weekends at Bernie's. This is a good one right there. If you want to see more of these, you can go to hashtag Bernie memes. But also, I'm going to put up a video slideshow of some of these on the Cybersky channel in the coming week. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed and you're here now, you know, subscribe so you can catch all of our uploaded videos, not only the podcast every Sunday, which go live. This will be on the channel after today, and you'll be able to refer people to it or come back and watch it. Last Supper, yeah, was pretty good. Bob Dylan, I know Vita's a Bob Dylan fan. A lot of people are. Let's see how many more I got. The Office. Man, there's a lot of good TV shows that I watch now. Big Bang Theory, The Office. It's funny because I grew up without a television. My friends know that. Titanic. All right. So in a little while, we're going to talk about SMART goals and how we can achieve our goals going forward for 2021. This one, shout out to the Bad Seed. The Symphony, dun, 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 featuring Lil Bernie. There he is, produced by Molly Wong. Dun, 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 dun. Next up, I believe that's me. All right, let me close that. Stop the share. All right. So I'm gonna go off of that for a little while. Actually, there's one more. I just have to show you the Pence one. That's like the greatest. Hang on. There's one Bernie Mike Pence meme that I just have to show you, and then we're gonna move on to the next thing. We'll come back. I'll show a few more later in the show. So, is it up? That one. Oh my God. Because remember, Pence was a meme for a while with all the fly memes. I know my boy Keith is going to like that one. All right. Cool. So let's just head back over to my notes here. Yes. All right. So let me explain SMART goals to you guys. First of all, has anyone ever heard of that? If you know what SMART goals stands for, the SMART, put it in the chat. And I'm going to do what are SMART goals. And I'm curious with this new mic that I'm using, when I type, do you hear me typing? Because that's one of the things that you get a podcasting mic for, because it's supposed to block out the sounds around you, but only really get your voice. And one of the show topics that I do here on Cybersky videos is called the creators, and it's about content creators, podcasters, YouTubers, people who throw up videos on Instagram. And I interview people who do this. Now, I have my favorite creators like Marquise, who does the tech blogs, Joe Rogan, I already mentioned. I like political speakers like Kyle Kalinske and David Duell and the Young Turks. And I watch a lot of Now This. Have you ever seen that one? The Now This ones. I forget the name of that company. But I watch a lot of podcasts. I like DJ Vlad. I know there's a movement against him right now. I love Lord Jamar and Godfrey as well, and Rod Digger. Shout out to her. So the show, The Creators, is me talking to people like that and getting to know them behind the scenes. Because a lot of times when people do a podcast, they don't just talk about themselves. They talk about the topics of that week. So I asked them how they get into podcasting. What equipment did you use? Did you change? Did you upgrade over time? What problems did you have when you first started? Any mishaps? What funny stories do you have? What is the most important thing that you're trying to get across in your podcast? And I just talk with these people for an hour and kind of pull back the curtain to get to know them as a person. And also we talk technology. So for instance, right now I'm using a Shure MV7 mic. I've got my LED lights around me, and I'm using a MacBook Pro. I'm using StreamYard. We talk about those different things. This mic, I'll talk about it for a moment. I will be doing a full unboxing and review in the next week to put up on Cybersky videos. But basically, if you look at Joe Rogan's podcast, he's got a Shure, what's it called, the MT7, something like that. Let me take a look at that real quick. Shure, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Shure podcasting mic. It's an industry standard one. I mean, not just him, a lot of, I think Larry King uses it. Everybody big uses it. It costs like $400. It's called a Shure SM7B cardioid dynamic vocal microphone. It is in the top 2 best microphones. There's 2 mics. There's another one that's also comparable. But this one is considered, industry standard, the top mic. I think they use them on like Hot 97 and Breakfast Club and all kinds of radio and podcasting functions. However, it's an XLR mic, which means in order to use it for a laptop, to go through your laptop to do a stream, you have to get an in-between piece where you plug your XLRs into, and that can be something like a sound card that takes XLR and goes into USB, or you could have a whole mixing board and go into it, then the mixing board goes out into the sound card, goes into USB. But I just wanted a mic that you could just plug in directly to your computer, and you could just travel with headphones, mic, and computer, plug them in anywhere. So this mic is the Shure MV7. It's like the little brother of the SM7B. If anyone out there was thinking of doing a podcast, but you're trying to scale down your equipment, you don't want to have that much stuff, and maybe your budget's a little lower, this mic is $250, whereas the Shure SM7B is $400. And this mic has some advantages I'm going to show you right now. If you look at the back of this mic, can you see that? Let me take a look at my dashboard. Yeah, the back, this mic has XLR, which is those 3 pins that you see right there. Whoops, didn't even touch that. And then it has USB. And this USB goes to USB-C. So I don't even need a dongle to attach to my USB to go into my newer MacBook Pro, which takes USB-C. This just goes right into USB-C. And I plug it in. There's no power. There's no, you don't have to plug this in. It gets powered by the laptop. Just check my laptop. Yep, plugged in. So it's so simple and easy to use. And then you can actually plug your earphones, what I'm doing right now, directly into the bottom of the microphone instead of the computer. So I'm going to do a whole episode on that. And, make sure you check out my series called The Creators on the Cybersky Videos channel. Now, what are SMART goals? No one's typed it in there, so I'm going to reveal it right now. SMART goals are specific, a very specific goal, not vague. I'm going to show you what that means in a minute. The M stands for, oh man, drawing a blank. SMART, specific. All right, I'm going to skip the M for now. Achievable. Let me do a quick search here. I'm a little nervous today. It's episode 1. I forgot to tell you guys. SMART goals. Are the 5 SMART goals? Oh yeah, measurable. I'm sorry. So specific, measurable, right? So you're going to have a way that you can check your progress towards this goal. Attainable or achievable, either one for the A. Relevant and timely. Some people say time bound or something with time. So timely means that you have a certain time limit on there. It's not like going to take the next 20 years. It's short term and you've got a schedule and you're going to meet that goal. All right. So I'm going to put that in the, so you want to be specific, measurable. Achievable or attainable means basically you can't have a goal that's so vast and so challenging that you're not going to be able to really achieve that. Like it's unrealistic and timely. All right. A second. Yeah. All right, cool. So throw that in the chat. So let me give you an example of some of my goals. Like I have a goal that is to, for the Cybersky channel, I wanted to get 35 videos uploaded by the end of March, and then get to 50 by the summer, and then get to 100 by December. So this time next year, next January, I want 100 quality videos up on Cybersky Videos. And that's while also creating content for my other channel, the MCMI Report, which is at MCMI Report on YouTube as well. That's the hip hop channel. So I'm still going to be doing some of my videos over there, but I still want to get 100 on this channel. And I think this is number 16. So I'm behind in my goal. So that's measurable. It's specific. I want 35 by March. That's specific. It's measurable. You can see how many I have uploaded. And as I upload each one, you can see my progress towards a goal. It's achievable because although it's going to be very challenging, I can work faster, do more videos, upload them, do shorter videos that don't need as much editing to try to achieve that. It's relevant. So the R is very important. The goal has to be relevant for you. And I mostly talk to my students about this. Sometimes their goal comes from their parents or their teacher. Like, you need to get your grades up, or you need to wake up earlier in the morning and get to school on time, or you need to clean up your room better, whatever that goal is. If the student is not really into that thing, whatever it is, let's say their parent has a goal for them that they're going to learn piano and they enroll them in piano lessons, but the student's not into piano and they want to play basketball. They're never going to really put their 100% into that goal. So your goal has to be very relevant to you, to the person. So if you run these things through the filter of SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and then timely, you're more likely to achieve these goals. Okay. So the timely is, it's going to get done in a certain time. Now I could have said like, my goal is to have $1 million in the bank by the time I'm 60, but that's not really timely. It's going to be a long time before then. A better, more timely goal is like these videos are uploaded by March. Another one I have is to reach 1,000 subscribers within a year. Okay. Now, from now to December 31st. So by December 31st, I want to have 1,000 subscribers. I think we're at 225 right now. So it's measurable. I can push it. I can do different strategies. You guys can help me with that by sharing with your friends that they subscribe. And I also have a goal to get 240,000 watch minutes in 1 year or less. And who knows why I need 240,000 minutes to have been viewed on the channel within a year. Anybody know? Because that's the magic number that YouTube will consider you for monetization. So one of my long-term goals is to create enough video content that some money comes in through monetization, and then that money goes to the nonprofit. So Cybersky Videos is a subsidiary of Stairs Academy, and it is a nonprofit. So I'm not trying to create another stream of income for myself, because I basically make enough money through my job and then selling a few streams and downloads of music and some other little business ventures, and I have some investments. And, you know, I'm okay, I'm getting by, but I want to have more funding for the nonprofit so that I can hire some people, you know, go after larger goals in the future. So that's a goal, is to get this channel monetized. So in order to get monetized, you need to have a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, and you need a minimum of 4,000 watch hours. So it's not about how many views, and you look at the numbers, oh, they got 1,000 views, they got 1 million views. It's about how long did they watch your video. If you add up all the minutes of people watching and it's more than 4,000 hours and you have 1,000 subscribers, you can be monetized. So that's a timely, relevant goal for myself. Now I want to know someone else's goal. So anyone that's out there, oh, I see MCMI report. No doubt. That's the brand and the label. Shout out to everyone in MCMI. Shout out to Luca. Thanks for the happy birthday wishes. I want someone to put in there one of your goals, and we're going to turn it into a SMART goal. Okay. So I'll give you a minute to type something in there, and I'll give you another one of my goals. I have a goal for health and fitness. I want to lower my blood pressure. So a few months ago, you know, I got a really high blood pressure reading. I was really stressed out, and I probably had too much salt in my diet. And I just was, you know, not in a good place physically. My blood pressure, the top number was 190. That's super high, because by some doctors' accounts, you shouldn't have higher than 140. Once you pass 140, you're kind of in the moderately high blood pressure. Once you pass 160, like you have hypertension, you're in trouble, right? So instead of just saying I have a goal to lower my blood pressure, I had to make it specific, measurable. And while I'm telling you this, put your goal in the chat. Attainable, relevant, and timely. So I said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. First of all, I'm going to lower my salt content. So I started to really pay attention. Not anything cooked in the house, I didn't use salt. So I said, my first thing that's measurable is I will not use salt in my cooking in the house. I can use other spices, but just not use salt. Now, that eliminated a bunch of salt. But I still have things that I buy that have salt in them, like certain cheeses are really salty, chips and things like that. So I started to not buy those things as well and get things with less salt. Then I had to examine what I'm eating out. A lot of times when I eat out, something has a lot of salt. So I worked on the salt thing, and I came up with a strategy. So when you do this, make these SMART goals, the second step after you run your goal through that filter of being smart, your next step is to come up with a strategy for how you're going to achieve that. Now, my strategy was I stopped cooking with salt. So I know, like, even though I can't control what I eat outside, everything in the house at least has less salt. And of course, you know, my wife supports me in that, and she doesn't want to have high blood pressure either. And so we are just cooking with less salt, right? Let's see. Oh, to continue to be the best me. Okay, and Wolfie, hello. Thanks for joining the chat. And Mikhail, that goal is a little vague, so it's not a SMART goal. It's a good goal though. It's a very good goal. The goal is to continue to be the best me. Okay. But can you measure that? Can you look at a chart or a calendar and say, I did this every single day? It's kind of hard. So what I would do to make that into a SMART goal is, what are the things that I do that are really great, that are me being the best me? And how can I make a strategy to be that more often? Well, what takes me off the path of that? Well, how can I avoid those things, right? So I don't know what that would be for you, but if I can come up with an example, let's say you feel that when you get a lot of things done during the day, you're being the best me. So you say, well, what stops me from getting a lot done? Well, sometimes I don't get up early, or sometimes I watch a lot of television. And I'm just using this as an example for anyone. You've got to plug in your own details for how this is relevant to you. Okay, so maybe I would get more done, and then I would be doing more of the things well that make me in a very positive way if I watch less television. So then you could make a little sub goal of, I will watch less television. How do you make that measurable? You calculate how much television you watch now by how many hours per day. You make a little chart. Say, oh, I've been watching about 6 hours of TV a day. And then you create a schedule and you do other things, and you say, I'm going to have a limit. I'm only going to watch 3 hours a day. Keep in mind, this is just a random example making to give you, this might not be your goal, or something that takes you off of your goal of being the best me. So for some people, the best me is in better shape. So they say, I'm going to start running every day, or I'm going to start jogging. For me, if I wanted to continue to be the best me, I would create more content, because I let a lot of other things get in the way of creating content. I have a lot of songs that I write and then I need to record and then make videos for it and mix. And I don't do that as much. And I have a lot of videos that I want to put up on the channel that I have started but aren't finished. And it takes a lot of hours. So I have to ask myself, what things stop me from being the best me, from being that creator? Okay, do I consume too much media? Am I on Instagram, not posting my things and just liking my friend's stuff and just trying to engage, but am I on there for an hour just scrolling? Am I on Facebook arguing with people who are knuckleheads who are never going to agree with my point of view anyway, and it's a waste of time? I could be writing a post about something positive instead of being on Facebook, right? So yeah, you got to think more deeply about it, but that's good. So now you've started already by saying to be the best me. I'm talking to Mikhail now. So now how can you, come up with some strategies and make that into SMART goals? So if I could eliminate some time, maybe I waste some time in between work and when I'm at home and then I'm doing my creation that I want to do, maybe some time is wasted in there that I could eliminate, to be more productive. So that'd be a way for me to be the best me, for example. So I'd love if anyone else, let me shout out some people in the chat. So we've been talking to Mikhail, we got Vita, China, Mark, MCMI report, the label, Wolfie, Luca. If any of you have, and I see it's telling me 14 people are watching. So if you're not in the chat, get in the chat if you have that ability on your device. If you can give me another example of a goal that you have for yourself, and we'll make it into a SMART goal, or we'll figure out what we need to do to make that into a SMART goal, put it in the chat. All right. I'm going to, talk a little bit about one of my goals until someone enters something in the chat. So for my health and fitness goal of lowering blood pressure, I also knew that I need to get more exercise, because salt is one thing. If you have a lot of salt intake, it raises your blood pressure. The other thing is if you're sedentary a lot. And in my job as a teacher, I used to walk around and go class to class and be on my feet teaching. And now I'm sitting like this at a desk. It looks just like this when I'm Zooming with my students. And so I'm often on the computer teaching classes, shooting podcasts, editing videos all day for hours and hours. I don't go out much because not a lot of things to go out and do. Maybe once or twice a week we go out and do a big shopping. Maybe, I visit my parents. So I'm not exercising. I used to do Kung Fu. I used to go to the gym. The dojo's closed because of social distancing. We can't be in a dojo, working hard, breathing on each other. In the warm weather, we did go outside, but now it's cold. and the gyms were closed for months and months. Now they're back open, but I'm not ready. I'm not going to a gym with people breathing and sweating all over the equipment, and then sometimes they don't wipe it down with a towel, and just being in the air with lots of people working out. I'm not doing that. So how can I put something on the schedule measurable to help me achieve that goal, to make it a SMART goal of, lowering my blood pressure? So we're going to remove the salt intake. That's measurable because I can count how much salt I'm not eating now because I'm not using the salt in those foods. And now how can I increase my physical activity? So one thing I did is I bought a weight system to use in the house. Now I don't have enough room for a big weight system, so I bought these adjustable weights that you rotate the handle and then you click and you can lift up different amounts of weight. And I've started using them. So now I'm going to put a calendar together, and I used them once. I got really excited. I got a good chest workout that day. And then I was resting the next day. I didn't work out. And then before you know it, a week went by and I hadn't worked out. So now I'm going to work out again this week. It's going to be like once. That's not going to get me to my goal of really doing more exercise. And by the way, I did stretching and cardio, some jumping jacks and stuff like that as well. So what I'm going to do now to make that goal smarter is I'm going to have a calendar, and I'm going to put exercise on specific days of the week, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 2 hours of exercise, right? And I'll figure out my plan of what my exercise is going to be. But I have to get it back on the schedule because I'm not going to the gym, and I can get bogged down with all this computer work and never really get off of a chair all day. So if I do that, and then I check it off every week. Did I work out Monday? Yes, I did 2 hours. Wednesday, Friday. Now it's measurable. Okay. It's timely because I can set a short-term goal, like for the next month, I'm going to do Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays workouts, or Saturdays, whatever day. And then I'm going to keep this chart of my minutes or my hours of working out. And keeping charts is really good for a SMART goal. I see a couple of people breathing exercises. Yep. Breathe right now. Yeah, that's good. Tata breathing is another thing to do that's really healthy. And also some indoor cardio, jumping jacks, and even just practicing my Kung Fu forms as cardio. But when you use charts, this is something I learned from my father, Charles Cybersky, Slope Music. When I studied music with him, as my younger days, I started at like age 5, I think piano. And then I really got into jazz in my teens, right? So what he would do, and he shows his students this, is you take graph paper and you put the dates of the week on there, and you put the names of your songs or your exercises or your scales, right? And then you write down how many minutes you practiced each one each day. So it's not as random as just like, I practiced for 20 minutes today. You look at the clock, you start practicing your scales. You finish, you look at the clock, you say, 8 minutes has gone by. You go to your chart, you take your pen, you put 8 minutes scales for today's date. Now you're going to practice one of your songs. So I might pull out There Will Never Be Another You. I practice it. Maybe I go through the chord changes. I play it a few times. Maybe I put on a tape of a bass player. I'm playing along with them, practicing my improvisation. I have that on the graph, on the chart. So it says There Will Never Be Another You, 5 minutes. I put it on there. Pennies from Heaven, 6 minutes. At the end, I can see that I've totaled 44 minutes today, let's say on a Monday. So now let's say the next day I don't practice. Let's say Wednesday I practice. I do the same thing. Maybe I choose some different songs and some different exercises, get those minutes in. Because I can look at what I did Monday, I can see what I've been practicing a lot. And if I look over the week and the month before, I can see what I've been neglecting and I'm not really practicing. And I can make my goals smarter by, working on those things a little bit more for the next week or two. This is really good for anything. You can do it for working out. You can put like, I did, push-ups for this amount of push-ups, this amount of weights, this amount of running. I ran for 45 minutes. And when you put down your things, your stretching, your breathing, you add it all up and you see how much you worked out that day. Let's say an hour, 2 hours. And you also know what you did and how many minutes you did for each thing. Again, you can go back and look over this after you've done it for a month, and you can make some decisions based on what you see in your own statistics. So that makes it measurable and also timely, because if the week goes by and you haven't written anything on your chart, you're not accomplishing your goal. That like forces you to get back in there. Oh man, I wanted to get this stats up in a month and I haven't worked on it this week. So now you got to put extra work on it the following week. So that's the T in timely. Gina, I see you have a goal up there. Gina says her SMART goal is to launch her new It's So Fun, Fun with Fabric virtual program onto other online platforms. Teachable, for example. Cool. I'm going to share, Gina, your website that's under construction, even though it's not finished, just the first page. The slider looks good. Because Gina has these online classes, and they're called It's So Fun. It used to be in person, of course, and she went to online. And we've been working on a website for that because at some point, right now, she teaches live, but she wants to, and she does that for a private school after school program. I'll throw it up on the screen real quick. This is her some of her students and their classes and stuff. So she's been working behind the scenes to finish this website and also to create some virtual programs. This means like you can go on to the website like Teachable and you can see descriptions and you can choose a course and you can sign up for it right there on Teachable and then you can take the class. Now she won't be live teaching it like she does now, where she demonstrates for the kids and walks them through it as they create their projects. This would be like you see PDFs and you see videos. So she's got to create videos pre-recorded of demonstrating how to make the crafts and the art and the outfits and the bags and all the hats and things that they make. You can see some of them in the website. And then instructions and different activities and things that click. So this is a whole long process of creating a program, a course that's virtual that now can be marketed and then people can take it and they can learn, you know, way more than she could teach at once. If she Zooms, she can just teach you one thing, like we're going to make mittens or we're going to make puppets or slippers or whatever she's making that day. But if she does these pre-recorded and pre-created virtual programs, she can have 100 different projects up there. You can go to the website. You can be like, oh, I want to make the Valentine's Day teddy bear, and you can make that. You know, or I want to restyle my jacket and add a fur collar to my leather. You know, it's not only for little kids. She does restyling for adults and everything. So that's her goal. So to make that a SMART goal, let's think about that. So first, you can put a timeline on the It's So Fun website. So this website's not 100% finished. It's close. So we're going to put that on the calendar. This website will launch in March. Let's just say it right now. But in March, this website's finished. So that's going to force me and you to work on this website and make sure it's ready. Now we're going to give a time limit for working on and give a schedule for working on the teachable part. I think that it's very hard to teach classes and work full time during the year while creating the course on the side. So I think we should say that this summer, between the dates of when school closes, maybe June 15th or something, through the summer to September, we dedicate a whole bunch of time to getting the Teachable launched and getting some courses up there. All right. It's very relevant to you because this is a goal you've had for a long time, right, Sheena? And let's see, it's specific, it's measurable. I think it's attainable. Now, if we said we were going to get this done this week, that wouldn't be attainable or achievable. That's not enough time. So to make it achievable, we've got to space it out. First step is just a website. There'll be no courses up live ready yet, but the site will be up so that now that part's done. Then we could schedule some time when you're not teaching classes in the summer months to really go 100% and get the teachable part initiated. And then you could say, like, if I can get that finished by September, a new semester, a new school year, we could launch the It's So Fun and the Fun with Fabric virtual programs. So that's my advice to you on that. If you guys have another one that you'd like to talk about, another goal, one of your goals, put it in the chat and we'll talk about it. I'm going to tell you another one of my goals is I did this video, Jazz with Pop. Did you guys see it? I'm going to put it up. Let me go to, I'm going to show you the Cybersky channel, Jazz with Pop. And basically, it's what it sounds like. My dad plays jazz piano and other instruments. I play flute. He taught me, of course, growing up. And we recorded ourselves playing outside in April, March, last day of March, first day of April. And it was just because we were in the middle of the pandemic. You can't go and play in restaurants, you can't play in jazz clubs, right? And so there wasn't a lot of opportunity for that. So what I wanted to do and what I did is plug in my dad's electric piano, pull it up. I'm going to pause that. And I brought over my flute and I went live on Facebook. So I just put my camera like on a tripod on the side and I just replayed it live for a while. What I'm looking for right now is there it is, Just Jazz with Pop. I don't know if you guys can see that thumbnail. The volume's off, but I'm just going to show you a little bit of it. So I recorded it and went live, and a lot of people threw in comments on there. Susan Kiefer Jackson right there is commenting. And I transferred that. I downloaded the video from Facebook later. It got several thousand views over like a week. A bunch of people were watching us live, and then the rest, viewed it later on Facebook. And a lot of comments. So I said, you know what? I want this to be on YouTube. I want people to be able to see it. I want to embed it on my dad's website and and put it on his YouTube channel as well. So I created this video where I took the comments that people made from Facebook and I put it on YouTube. I threw my Cybersky logo at the top. I threw the Slope Music logo at the bottom. That's the website. If you want to know more about my dad's career and his playing, and if you want to inquire about music lessons, which they currently have music lessons, some music lessons in person and some digitally on Zoom, go to slopemusic.com. So I did this one, video, and it's a lot of editing. It's about 30 minutes. I think we played 5 or 6 songs. We stopped in the middle to cheer for the frontline workers. I'm going to forward it to like that spot. It's kind of cool. It's like right here, like we just started making noise. Everyone in the neighborhood going, ooh, clapping, banging, how we do. And then we got back to the playing. Anyway, I really enjoyed it because I don't get to play a lot myself. And my dad, that's all he does is plays piano every day. He'll just play in the house by himself. But it's nice to play with other people. And it's nice to be heard and let people hear a concert. And it's very difficult during the pandemic to have concerts. So this is our concert, basically. So we went, live and we did this concert, a little mini concert. When you listen, my flute's a little rusty, pay attention to the piano parts. It's all about, Pop and his playing. But we did another one a couple weeks later and haven't had time to edit it and upload it. So my goal is to put up more videos of Just Jazz with Pop. I want to actually play with my dad more, right? So this will force me to do that because I'm like, oh, we need to record. When can I do it? All right, next weekend. Come over, set up the phone or the camera or whatever we're going to record on and play, right? So I want to have more videos of Just Jazz with Pop, and I want more opportunities for my dad to play and for us to play together and for us to share out and play, these little mini concerts. So I'm going to be editing the other one we did where we added a saxophone player who lives around the corner who came over, and we were 6 feet apart, social distance, and we were playing out in the front yard in the garden. Now, I'm actually going to go and record some new ones so that we can continue it. So once I put up the next outdoor concert in the garden, which happened in April, then I'm going to be recording some new videos of me playing in the house. Since it's winter, we're not going to play outside. Just flute and piano, just duo. We're not inviting people over because it's social distancing. And, we keep our contact limited to close family. So that's another of my goals. And so let's see, I'm going to be specific. My goal is within the next 2 weeks to upload 3 more videos to the Just Jazz with Pop series. So I got 1 up there now. I want 3 more so that there's 4 of them now. And I can make a playlist and everything. So that's one SMART goal. That's smart, specific, it's measurable, It's attainable. I've got 2 already finished. I got to just edit 2 more, and then that'll be 4. It's relevant. It's super relevant. It's something I want to do. I wish it was done already. It just takes a lot of time, and I haven't finished it yet. And it's going to be timely because I'm giving myself 2 weeks. I'm saying it live on the podcast, so I can't miss this deadline now. I got 2 weeks to put up 4 more Just Jazz with Pop videos. Now I'm going to make another SMART goal on that. And I want you guys to type a goal of yours. Tata, maybe you can give me a goal that you have that you want to work on. Another goal that I'm going to do for Just Jazz with Pop is to finish. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to record 10 videos and upload them all in a month. I can't do that. It's not attainable. It's not achievable. But after the 2 weeks, after I upload 4 more videos that are already recorded, then I'm going to make a goal, a SMART goal, to record 1 more concert. I'm just going to give myself, I'm not going to be able to do it weekly. I'm saying, let's just go once. I'm going to bring this mic, which records pretty well. And I'm going to go live like this on StreamYard. I'm going to bring the laptop over. I'm going to set it up at Slope Music in Park Slope. I'm going to get a good angle, maybe put a little light on us, and we're going to record one. If I can get one to go live, if we do it live, that's less editing. We just play. Jazz is like that anyway. We don't punch in. We don't fix parts. You play, and however it came out, it came out. It's like in hip-hop when you freestyle. Sometimes you come up with something good. Sometimes, hey, it was a freestyle, right? So, hey, Rich Optics commented, dude, I had no idea. I love jazz. So he commented on Facebook, and then I put it on YouTube. So now I'm like connecting all the social medias. But anyway, that's going to be my next one. Now, to make it timely, of course, it's relevant. It's achievable. Timely and achievable go together. How long will it take me to do that? I'm going to say in the next month. I'm going to give myself 4 weekends. So maybe I'll do it next weekend if I have time. If I don't have time next weekend, I've got 3 more weeks that I have to go live and do another Just Jazz with Pop. So it's going to depend on his schedule, my schedule, COVID, because I work in a public school and I get tested every week. And, you know, I did have to quarantine one time. I never have gotten a positive test. Someone at my job had tested positive. So everyone who'd been around that person for a while had to not go to work for 14 days and to quarantine. So I didn't visit, you know, my parents, obviously, during that time. So all that has to work out. That's why I'm giving myself a few extra weeks. If we weren't in the middle of a pandemic, I would say I'm going to do it next weekend. But I think it's more attainable if I give myself 4 weeks. But I can't go past that 4 weeks. Like, I have to get it done. So I'm going to be working on that SMART goal throughout the week. So what are some of your goals that you have for 2021? 2020 was a rough year, although a lot of good things did happen, but sometimes I got overshadowed by all the negative and the chaos that was going on. And, you know, but most people are happy to be in a new year. But you have to understand that a year is a man-made concept. We just came up with the fact that it's a new year. It could still be 2020 if we wrote our calendar that way. So it doesn't really mean anything in the physical universe. The pandemic didn't say, oh, it's 2021, I'm leaving. People who are out of work didn't say, oh, I can pay my rent now, even though I don't have a job. Like, it didn't change just because it's 2021. So we have to figure out if we have a goal for 2021, like, what are we going to do? What am I going to do? What are you going to do to achieve that goal for 2021? And we don't want to be vague. We can't just say like, oh, I'm going to read more. Okay. Like, one of my students, their goal was to read more. So I'm like, all right, let's make that measurable, attainable, and timely. How many pages are you going to read per week? Then we can break that down into how much you read per day. And when do you want to finish the book? And then when we did that, we put it on a schedule, and they knew every Friday they would check. This is how it's measurable. They would check every Friday to see if they'd read the amount of pages they needed to for the week. And if not, they would catch up on Friday, and they would keep towards their goal. So let's see. We have a goal in the chat. Tata says a goal is to work on stress. Yes, that's why you said breathing exercises earlier, right? Yeah, that's a good one. So to work on stress, what are some things you could do specifically? What stresses you out, Tata? Tell us in the chat. Like, are you a workaholic? Are you in a toxic situation, either at home or at work? Are you stressed because of the pandemic? People with COVID, financial concern, like what's stressing you right now? And then let's work on, okay, fear. So is it fear of the government situation, fear of politics, fear of, disease, all that? Okay. All right. How do you find out about that stuff? Do you watch the news? Or like me, I binge YouTube videos. And once you watch a few videos about how the whole world is going to hell in a handbasket, it recommends you more videos like that, right? And then I just hear about this bad thing and that bad thing. So you're saying all that, is it YouTube? Do you watch stuff that creates fear on YouTube? Or is it like sometimes I go on Facebook and I read posts and articles that people put up, gloom and doom as well? But if you can be specific, that's the beginning. That's the first filter to run your goal through, to make it a SMART goal, is being specific. So instead of just saying like, okay, I'm going to have less stress. Okay, let's be specific. All right, well, fear, I have a lot of fear and anxiety about the world and things going on. Okay, you've gotten more specific. Okay, what are you anxious about? Okay, these are the things I'm anxious about. What is pushing that to the foreground of your consciousness? Okay, what about, where are you getting that input? Because keep in mind, we have a media diet. And on my health talk on Cybersky videos, I talk about different antioxidants and foods and vegetables and even supplements that you can eat that will improve your health physically in different ways inside, right? We also consume media. Right now, you're consuming this podcast. I think this is a positive podcast. We talked a little about the memes. That was funny. It's my birthday. People are saying happy birthday to me. My birthday's tomorrow, but this is the birthday podcast. And now, we're talking about our goals. This is a positive thing. How are we going to win in 2021? Because I'm going to win, and I want all of you guys to win. And if we make our goals SMART goals, we're going to win. And shout out to the 7th grade team at my school, Arts and Letters 305 United in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, because I didn't come up with the lesson for SMART goals. I've known about SMART goals before, but other teachers on the team brought it to the forefront for us to teach our students in the last week or two. And I was like, you know what? I need to start doing this more in my life. And I said, you know what? Let's talk about it during a podcast. But the first thing to do is to be specific. So, I don't know how much you want to share, Tata, how personal you want to make it. But if you could be specific about one thing that causes fear and anxiety in your life, just pick one that you don't mind sharing. I could use it in an example. So let's see if you can do that in the chat. And I'm sure a lot of people have that same thing. Well, I'll tell you how I started to have less anxiety and stress in my life, because that was definitely one of my goals. So while you're thinking about that, basically what I did is I said, what are the things that are causing me stress? I said, one thing is that I have too many things on my plate and I can't get them done. And there's a lot of things that are taking my time that shouldn't be. And so I can either remove some things from my plate and do less, or I can remove those things that are wasting my time. So one thing is, a lot of times I would stay at work way too long. Like after my workday ends, I would stay 3 to 4 hours extra. So if I just worked, let's say, what's the workday? 9, 3, 6 and a half hours a day is a teacher's workday. I'm removing the lunch and the prep periods and stuff like that. So if I stay an extra 3 or 4 hours, now I'm working 10 hours a day. And I would try to do work in advance. Like I would try to over prepare for next week and then the week after that. And I would even sometimes do other things I needed to get done. I'd say, well, let me just do this while I'm here and go through my emails, not work related, at like 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night. Meanwhile, the custodians are getting mad at me. They want me to leave the building because I got to clean up. And I was supposed to have left already. And then I end up getting home really late. Then I end up eating late. Then I end up staying up late to do some more work. and then not getting enough sleep. And then the next day I'm really tired, drinking coffee, and then I'm not working effectively, and then I don't get all my things done. So like it spirals, one thing leads to another, you know? So I decided to not stay at work too long. And as soon as I'm finished with whatever I do have to do for my job, I'm done. I leave for the day. I don't make my classroom my office. I say, you know what? I'll do that at home. So, and then also sometimes I would try to get so much done in advance for the next day, and things that I really wanted to accomplish and finish, but I didn't, and I ran out of time. And I would just say, well, I'm just going to stay here until I get it done and leave at 8 or 9 in the evening. Can't do that anymore. That's unacceptable. So I made a rule for myself that whatever doesn't get done by X amount of time, like I give myself a little leeway. Like I'll stay a half an hour after school and just put in a little extra work or just finish up some things. But then I'll be like, that's it. It didn't get done today. I'll do this in the morning. And what I found happened once I started doing that is I get more done in the morning because I'm more rested. And so whatever it was I was trying to get done in the afternoon or the evening the day before, I end up being very productive the next day and knocking it out. And then I also have a lower stress level because I haven't been overworking and then not getting enough sleep. So let's get back to you guys. So what are your goals? So Tata says she has a lot of anxiety, or stress rather. She's going to work on stress, and she hears a lot of politics. She consumes a lot of politics and pandemic news. So between politics, pandemic, it's a lot of stress for all of us, right? So I asked you earlier, what medium are you consuming this media on? So are you watching TV? Are you getting it on Facebook? Are you getting it on YouTube or somewhere else? What's taking you down the rabbit hole where you're spending too much time drinking in this media food into your brain? Like I said, we take antioxidants and we eat vegetables and fruits to be healthier and take vitamins. Because if you consume toxic food, you feel unhealthy and sick. If you consume toxic media, you're mentally unhealthy and sick. And even if something's not toxic in itself, if you consume too much of it, like salt is something we need. We can't not eat salt. Sugar, is needed in certain forms. But it's when you take in too much of one kind of thing. Cholesterol is healthy. We need cholesterol, but then you can have more cholesterol than is healthy, and then you get sick, right? Same thing with the media. Yeah, you need to know about the pandemic. You need to follow politics just to be a person and function in society. But try not to go down the rabbit hole. So I see that you've put in the chat that you do YouTube a lot. You get world news from YouTube. Okay. So I can think of a few different things to, I'm starting to formulate some strategies now because I am a YouTube junkie myself. Out of all the social media, number one is YouTube. Number two is Facebook. I go on Instagram and Twitter and there's other things as well, but those are my main two. So there was a time when I was sort of one track mind on YouTube, and the algorithm feeds that. Once you watch those things a lot, now it keeps giving you more. It's kind of similar to health. Like when you eat a lot of sugary things, the enzymes that digest sugar build up in your stomach. Now you have a lot of those enzymes, so it makes you crave more sugar, right? And same thing if you eat anything else, whatever enzymes come out, that makes you crave that food more because you've now built up more enzymes to digest that food. So the algorithm starts to give you more, and then you watch it, and then you want to click on it more, and it's a cycle, and it's probably stressing you out. So what I would try to do is either, I don't know how many hours, because you weren't that specific about the hours. How many hours a day would you say you watch YouTube in general, not world news, but just anything on YouTube? You're on your phone or on your computer. I have smart TV. I watch it on, the Apple TV and things like that. So how much do you watch? So one thing you might want to do is cut down how much YouTube you watch altogether, especially if you only watch world news, negative news, pandemic, conspiracy theory, politics, right wing, left wing, Trumpers, right? So how much of that is part of your media diet? You can either lower the entire amount of YouTube and just be like, I'm not going to watch YouTube that much, and do other activities. And then now that you've removed some of the intake of the unnutritious stuff, 1 to 2 hours a day. Okay. So once you try cutting that in half in general, and then you can do 2 other things. I'm just suggesting this as a strategy. Take it or leave it if it works for you, of course. 2 other things is choose some other things to watch that are positive and uplifting. Now, YouTube's not going to suggest them to you because you've been watching all these world news panic videos for a while. So it's going to keep throwing those at you. So search out for some things that are either A, mindless entertainment. YouTube has the Cobra Kai reboot. If you never watched that, go watch Cobra Kai seasons 1 and 2. It's going to take you back to the 80s. It's a silly show. It has nothing to do with reality. It's just entertainment. It's funny. And, watch things that your mind is just being entertained and is soothing. So you'll have good endorphin releases of pleasure from watching something and enjoying it. That's not freaking you out, right? Look up some how-to videos, some things you've been needing to do. How do you remove the background in Photoshop so you can do memes? Watch some of those, some informational videos. And then look for positive types of videos, music that you like, people doing blogs and podcasts that are very positive and uplifting, because that's going to not only be giving you less hours spent watching the world news stuff that's stressing you out, but it's also going to feed you with some positive things that's going to improve your mental well-being. All of that is one of the ideas. Oh, Sheena says, yeah, like watch Bridgerton on Netflix, LOL. She wants me to get into that show, but I'm not totally into it yet. I'll give it a chance. We'll watch it. Bridgerton. Yeah. So you're saying that that's like unrelated to your daily stresses. Exactly. Watch The Mandalorian. What's the other show? WandaVision is hot right now. Total silly show. I can't remember all the shows I'm watching on Netflix, but spend some of your 2 hours of allotted time not watching those things on YouTube. And then another thing you can do is if you cut down your YouTube time to 1 hour instead of 2 per day, if at least 30 minutes of that 1 hour is watching things that you seek out, you search for it, positive stuff, and then you click on things that are going to be uplifting or just entertaining, not stressing. The other 30 minutes, you can still watch all the stressful stuff. That makes it attainable. You're not going to say, I'm never going to watch a video again. Because when these videos come up that are clickbaiting you, hey, did you hear what this person did or that person did? You want to click it. So give yourself 30 minutes and give it 30 minutes for something else. And then the other hour, you're just not on YouTube. Now, you said earlier when I was talking about exercise for stress, breathing exercises. Okay. Take that second hour that you used to spend each day. It's only an hour a day, but when you add it up, that's 7 hours a week, right? And do things that lower your stress. So that could be, for you, could be cooking, could be reading, could be breathing exercises, right? Could be Tai Chi, could be yoga, Qigong. Could be playing a game, a video game, could be taking a walk, going outside, going and doing something in the fresh air. All those things that lower blood pressure, that lower your stress. I started doing those as well. And by the way, my blood pressure is not 190 anymore. So it went down to 160 in about 2 or 3 weeks. My doctor gave me some medication to lower blood pressure. And I'm gonna confess, he's gonna be mad at me. I think I took 1 pill. And then I said, I'm not gonna do this because then I'm gonna be relying on these pills to force my blood pressure down. I'm first gonna lower it as much as I can naturally by doing these strategies, removing salt, getting more exercise, doing things to de-stress. And it did work. And then I said, if it doesn't work by a certain amount of time and my blood pressure is dangerously high, I'm going to take the medication. I'm not going to totally not take it if I need it. But we're in the trial period where I'm getting it down. So it went down to 160. And then I didn't check it for a little while. And then I had a physical recently. I went to take a COVID test and they were taking all vitals as well. It was 140. So 140 is considered high because between 120 and 140, 140 is the top. And once you pass that, you're starting to get into the danger waters. But to go from 190 down to 160, and then a month or two later down to 140, it's good. It means that I'm doing the right things. I'm getting my blood pressure lower. So at the moment, I'm not going to take the medication yet. I'm going to keep working on it. I want to get it now measurable, right? Smart, measurable. I want to get it down off of 140. So I'm going to continue to do things that lower my blood pressure, including taking different supplements, ESS 60 with olive oil. I drink hemp seed oil. I cook with olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil with MCT, CBD oil, eating more vegetables and fruits and less foods with high salt content. I'm going to keep doing that. And if I can get it down to 130 in the next month, I'm going to be really happy because that's within the normal levels now. Anyway, back to you. So yeah, so do things that lower your stress with that extra hour each day. What kind of things do you do? Like, do you play basketball? Do you knit? Do you do martial arts? Do you take walks? What do you do for stress? Ride a bike? And that's another thing that I'm going to do. I was going to order a new bicycle. I had my old bike died. I pulled it out. I said, I have to ride bike every day because I got to lower my blood pressure, right? Get the cardio. And the bike fell apart. So I said, okay, I've had this bike for a long time. Shout out to my brother-in-law, Donald, who gave me the bike like 15 years ago. And it was his bike for 10 years. So it was a very old bike. It finally lived its life. It's done. And I haven't found the perfect bike that I want to buy to replace it yet. I have been riding. I rode once or twice my friend Keith's bike that he asked me to hold for him because he went on a trip and he needed to take it out of storage. So I said, yeah, I'll hold your bike at my house. You know, normally that'd be an annoying thing. You're cluttering up my house. But you know what? I got a bike rack. I put it on there. So I rode his bike, but I want to buy my own bike so that I can do that more. So you say washing dishes. Okay. That de-stresses you? I guess it does. As much as I don't like washing dishes, when I do wash dishes, it is very relaxing, I have to admit. And because, you know, the whole process of it is very methodical, as simple as warm water running on your hands. When you finish, you turn something that was stressing you out, a big clutter of dirty dishes, into nice clean dishes and everything. The sink is clean. So that's cool. But I don't know if you'll have dishes to wash for an hour to replace the hour that you're going to watch less YouTube. So come up with some more things that you can do. And if you really want it to work, you have to do a measurable. So you have to take a notepad and write Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you have to chart how much YouTube you watch. So if you watch it randomly 5 minutes throughout the day, it's kind of hard to do that. But if you have a routine where every day you get home from work and you pick up your phone and you watch YouTube, or you put on the TV and watch YouTube, you can look at the clock and you can see when you've finished how much time has gone by. You might find that you're actually watching 3 or 4 hours and you thought you were watching 1 or 2. I don't know. So once again, this is my birthday podcast, and this is episode 1 of the Cybersky podcast. For everyone listening out there, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and if you're watching this after the fact, add a comment, because the comments in the chat, they don't go into the comments under the video later. So even when we end the broadcast in a little while, I would love if everyone who was in the chat went and added some comments also beneath the video, because that's going to stimulate the algorithm to show it to more people, and the numbers are going to get up. Remember, one of my goals is to increase my watch minutes on YouTube so that I can head towards monetization, so that I can fund my educational nonprofit, which does things like the Cybersky videos content and the workshops, internships, and after-school programs that we do with Stairs Academy. So that would really help just by leaving a comment and just hitting the thumbs up. Just click it right there. Shout out to Willie D. I like watching his podcast, and he always says, "Fam, I want you to click that like button and ring the bell." He does a little sound effect, and he does like his finger. So I stole that from him. But anyway, we're going to go till, I think I'm going to end at 6. So this will be a 2-hour episode 1. It is the first episode, and it is my birthday. So that's why I'm going a little longer. I'm going to do this every Sunday, about 1 hour, and there'll be different guests. Now, if you didn't see the episode -1 that came before episode 1 that I did last week, go check that out. It's a little raw, a little rough around the edges. I didn't have the mic yet. And but now I have the mic, and also my questions and my script and everything wasn't as prepared as it could have been. And it was my first time using StreamYard. This is my second time. But my 2 guests really helped make it informational and entertaining. So shout out to Destroy, and check out his show called Show Off Your Gems. He does it live. He goes live on Instagram at iDestroy, right? And then he uploads them later to YouTube. And what his show is he talks to celebrities, music artists, athletes, actors, and he asks them what stuff they collect. Like, what have you had in your house or in your collection, that are cool to show off? Like, these are my gems. Show off your gems. So, for instance, if I was on his show, I would show one of my gems is this new boombox that I have on the speaker behind me. You can see over there under the light. And I also have different toys. And I would explain the story behind it. That was actually a present from my stepson, Mikhail. I might show one of these. This is a gem. This gem is a Bluetooth speaker, and it's called a Tiki Tunes. It's supposed to look like there's a candle in there. You can put it on the table for a candlelit dinner. You can put it in your bathroom and connect to Bluetooth. And then let's say you're going to take a shower.
Ready to pair.
Right? Let's say you want to listen to some audio that's on your phone, right? Back in the day, I used to listen to radio. I'd put on the radio while I'm in the shower, so I'm hearing some music or some talk. But now I use the Tiki Tunes with Bluetooth to my phone, and whatever podcast or informational video or something I want to learn about, I'm listening to it while I'm in the shower, and I just put it on the side and turn it on. So that's one of my gems. And by the way, I have an unboxing and review of the Tiki Tunes, and I'm going to put that up soon. And I'm going to be shooting one about this cassette player boombox, which actually also has Bluetooth. You can record from something through Bluetooth to the cassette, or you can play the cassette and record it to a USB or SD card and then put that into your computer. So you could transfer all your cassettes, and it's also just a good working radio and tape player. So anyway, subscribe to the channel to get all that great content, as well as this podcast every Sunday at 4 p.m., as well as coming soon, the live Jazz with Pop live streams, which I'm not going to put a day on that. We're just going to see when we can do it. It will probably be a Friday or a Saturday coming soon. Thanks again for the birthday wishes. And for my birthday, all I want you to do is follow me at Cybersky Videos on Twitter and Instagram if you have that. If you're on Instagram, look up Cybersky Videos. And also my personal Instagram is GMS_MCMI. That's also on the screen in front of you. Now the GMS one, GMS is my rap name, my DJ name, my producer name. I've been doing hip hop since a kid. I've been recording music since my teens with my crew and my group HYDRA and the Plague. Shout out to the Plague. We have a brand called MCMI, which is a website, a clothing line, an independent label, and we're actually going into management and production of other artists. And in that world, I go by my initials. GMS is Graham M. Cybersky, and that became, my moniker over the years. So GMS_MCMI is where I showcase my music or performances or pictures of me doing hip hop in the studio. And also it's my personal Instagram and Twitter. So I put up just everything about life. You see me and my wife out at dinner. You see me with my parents, different things, different friends. So follow my personal one, GMS MCMI, as well as the Cybersky Videos, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And don't just follow it and forget about it. Like if you go on Instagram and you follow it, like look at the top 5 pictures and just like them and maybe throw a comment in there, because then Instagram will show you my posts later. If I throw up a new post on any of those, it'll appear in your feed because you've engaged with that. So it's important to get that engagement going. So that's one birthday present you guys can give me. Another birthday present is to donate to my charity, my nonprofit, Stairs Academy. So I'm going to share that on the screen again, and I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time. This is just for those who know me and really want to, they would have given me a $10 knickknack or bought me something, as a gift, or sent me a card. So send me a card this way, because it's going to send me an email saying that you gave a donation, and you can write happy birthday in that if you want to. Okay. And that's this, make it a little bigger. Yeah, basically the Stairs Academy. Now, this is for Cybersky and Stairs Academy since they're both part of the same nonprofit. And you could just drop something in there. Coming soon, I have a Patreon page, and I'm going to launch that soon, but I haven't finished all the settings yet. But I'll give you some info on that next week when I do the podcast. We've got some really good guests lined up for future podcasts. I don't want to give it away, but I'm not sure who's going to be there next Sunday. But it's definitely going to be a conversation between a couple of people. I can have up to 9 or 10 people on at once now. So I'm looking to network, right? I want to do one with MCMI where I have Wild Child and Blitzkrieg and Mr. Mech and, Mike Hands and Marksman and Coors Cordero and all the MCMI people, and combined with Cybersky and also, other friends that I have that do podcasts. Maybe we'll bring in some other hip hop artists like Wordsworth, Substantial. He does Substantial Sundays at, I think, 7:00. Shout out to him. Destroy, maybe he'll come on again with a group as a guest again. I'm also going to interview him one-on-one because he's got a lot going on and it was too much to cover last week in the episode -1. So there's definitely going to be a volume of creators, which is just destroy and show off your gems and all the things that he's involved with. So just letting you know what to look forward to coming up in the near future. And let's see what else I could tell you. Oh, I've been doing these internships for a while. So here's another goal that I have for myself for 2021. We're sharing our goals today. So we've got a goal of reduce stress, right, for Tata. Get the teachable going for China. Be my best me for Mikhail. I've been sharing a bunch of my goals. Here's another one. So far, I've been doing internships in student teaching where a college student who's an ed major comes to the school where I work, and I supervise them and I mentor them, and they basically practice teaching with my students. So that's one of the internships. I also do technology internships. One of the tech internships that I do right now, we have a couple of tech interns in the building. They come to the Arts and Letters 305 United Public School in Bed-Stuy, and they repair laptops, change settings, re-image operating systems, reset iPads, and they try to get the technology up and running for the students who are at home doing remote learning, logging into classes using Zoom and Google Classroom. And they also connect the printers for the staff in the school, and they're going to be working on smart boards as well. And they're just basically an IT tech support intern. I also have the web development team that works on the websites. And for this year in 2021, the new semester, the spring internship 2021, I'm going to look to take on writers. Okay, I want to mentor some journalism majors or some creative writing majors who are interested in writing for websites, doing content creation, building their own websites as a vehicle for their writing. And for those that don't know, my minor in college, I went to Brooklyn College, was writing. So my major was education, my minor was writing. I considered being a writer, and I write, I write articles, and I write poetry and songs and things like that. And I actually am planning to write some books in the future, but those are not SMART goals right now. They're just on hold because I'm not ready. I'm not at that point in my life where I'm ready to devote my time to the writing. But I am a very good writer. And also I have a lot of needs. I have a lot of websites that need articles written. And so I'm looking for some writers who want to do an internship on how to write for blogs, how to write for websites, how to write articles, how to write copy for YouTube videos. And yeah, let's write about education and put it on Stairs Academy. Let's write about technology and health and put it on Cybersky videos. Put it on cybersky.org. Let's write about hip hop. If you like music, it doesn't have to be all hip hop, but music in general. Let's put it on MCMI Report. I've got these websites with these outlets that I do most of the writing for, but a few other people in the organization write, and occasionally someone does a one-off because they have something they want to put up. But yeah, I'm going to take on some interns. So that's one of my goals for 2021 is to take on writing interns. I haven't done that before. Hey, Shayshana, thanks for the happy birthday. Good to see you. So, that's another one of my goals. Shoshana, we've been talking about SMART goals. It's funny. That's what we teach our kids, right? So today I've been trying to show how I'm going to use that for myself. Like I'm taking some of my goals for 2021 and I'm making them smart, measurable, attainable, relevant, and timely, right? And so far, 3 people have given me some examples of their SMART goals and or of their goals for 2021. And then we try to turn them into SMART goals. So let me know if you want to throw one of your goals, like something that you decided you're going to do this year for 2021, something you're going to work on, improve, create, start new, anything like that. And then if you do that, we'll talk about making it a SMART goal. And I'm really doing this to show the listeners out there who will be playing this later what these SMART goals are and what that means and how you can use this as well as a calendar or a chart of your progress to make it measurable so that you can hold yourself accountable. This is not a goal that your boss wants for you or your parents or your teacher. This is to hold yourself accountable, just to get stuff done that you're like, man, I wanted to do that and all this time has gone by and I haven't done it. Like I wanted to start doing these podcasts a year ago. And that's how long I procrastinated it until I started saying, okay, my goal is to buy lights. My next goal is to learn the program. My next goal is to create a schedule, create the YouTube channel, upload some videos. I had to do all these steps to get to where I could actually go live and do a live podcast. And I didn't do it for a long time. And until I started making a schedule, it didn't get done. So we're going to go back. We're going to end off today on some Bernie memes. So let me stop sharing that. And we're going to pull up some more of the memes. And I have some video memes. And then I'm going to show you my favorite meme last. Okay. So let me just adjust my dashboard. You want to trademark, Shoshana, you want to trademark and sell a granola mix. Oh, that's interesting. And you'd like to join the writing team. Hey, let's talk. Let's talk on the job. Yeah, you're a writer. You got some things you're interested in writing about. That's great. I'm just looking for content for the website to make it, have more value for the people that visit the sites and stuff. So that's definitely a great goal. So trademarking is a very specific thing. You write up your idea, you pay someone a certain amount of money, and it's very expensive, unfortunately, like over $1,200, $1,400, something like that. And then you get a trademark. But there are steps that you're going to need leading to that you should put into your goals to make it smart. So do you have a name for your granola mix? Do you have the recipe? Is the recipe measured out? Have you made it where it's the same every time you do exact measurements? Especially I've heard of this. I don't know why I know this about granola mix, like exactly how many nuts and raisins and oats and whatever you put in your mix. Has to be very quality controlled, So do you have all those things written down? Have you trademarked or copywritten your recipes? Trademark your name of it. Don't put the name in here because you haven't trademarked it. I'm just asking you if you've done these things. Pick a few of them and say, I'm going to knock this one out in the next month, and then put a goal and put a timeline and a strategy so to make it timely and attainable. And then work to that, and then just keep going and start with a list. Another good thing to help you with your goals is making checklists. So you can have a list of things you want to do, right? And then you can do one and not the others and just get that one done and then check it off instead of bouncing around to 7 different things and being in the middle of all of them, right? And then for each goal, you can make a checklist of all the steps. At Stairs Academy, we have a slogan, reaching for success one step at a time, right? Stairs Academy, one step at a time. So, making those lists and going up each step can help you both organize your progress and keep track of it, and then get an endorphin rush. You feel good every time you've checked one off. And then you can see, I got 3 of my check boxes. I got 4 more to go. That helps you stay motivated for your goal as well. So those are just some things that you can think about. Looking for another, the video memes. Those are really fun. I want to end off on the video memes. And it's just 1 or 2. Here's one that I found. This is so creative. It's creative. It's funny. And someone had to know technology and video editing to do this. Let me know what you guys think of this one. If you've ever watched the Lucy show, I love Lucy, Lucille Ball, this is one of the most famous episodes that she ever did. Check it out. With the chocolates, but they're little Bernies, and she's wrapping them up, and she can't keep track, and they're going by. It's a little Bernie on a conveyor belt. That's hilarious. So that's one of the memes. And then let me grab another one that I thought was really, really good. That one might be the best one, but I don't know. It could be tied for this next one I'm about to share. Where's the other? Oh, yeah, this one. I'm going to call this Bernie at the Roxy. Okay. Let's make it a little bigger. Don't. We're a little over time because at 6, I said we were going to end at 6, but we're going to go about 5 minutes. No, it's okay. I had it on earlier. Thanks. So. Yeah, China said, don't forget your hat. But see, I'm wearing the headphones. So, yeah. So that meme was funny. She said, don't forget about the hat. I can put the hat on. I don't really need the headphones because no one's talking to me right now. So I'll just put those aside and give you guys a little wardrobe change. It's gotten a little hot in the studio. Let's remove this sweater. And by the way, I eat a lot of granola, Shoshana. So when you do that, I'm going to be I'm definitely going to be one of your customers. I have like several different granolas in the house right now. I always eat granola. So what do you guys think of those video memes? And here's one I'm just going to put up. This is not Bernie, but this is the first meme I ever created. I created this when it was almost time to go back to school. In September when we were about to go back in and the numbers were really high, and basically I took this advertisement. It was about something else. I don't know where that helmet comes from. It was like a motorcycle helmet or something. I don't remember, but had nothing to do with COVID, but I just appropriated it. Me going back to in-person learning when the weekly rolling average is twice the percent that the mayor of New York said would force schools to be shut down, but they're still not shutting them down, right? Yeah. But let's get rid of that one. Another Bernie meme I got here. All right, so just throw that one on the stream. This is still one of my favorites, the Mike Pence one. Oh, am I on the wrong one? Ah, that's not the one I wanted to share. Okay, we're gonna keep it that though. Let's play a game called Caption This. So these are memes that I started, but I haven't actually finished the meme. So I just have what you see there. It's a picture of Bernie. I'll put him in different locations. I don't know if there's any humor to be found here. We got to try to find the meme in these memes. All right. So there's the first one. Here's another one. So caption this. Put it in the chat. What would you call this one? Bernie, I don't know. Center of attention? I don't know. This one's funny. He's on the balcony in a high rise in a city. You got to type fast because I'm not going to leave them on the screen for too long. I'm going to, basically put them up and you guys have a moment to type a caption. I'm going to go to the next one. Bernie on the pier, on the promenade. I don't know what that is. Bernie in the country. Bernie by a lake. This is where we all wish we were right now. Not in the cold of NYC. I don't know if any of you are, on from somewhere else, but a lot of us are in New York right now. It's freezing. Bernie on vacation. Vacation with Bernie. I don't know. Above the clouds. That's what I'll put for this one. Beach Bernie. That's good. Okay. Beach Bernie, alliteration. Above the clouds. I'm going to put this one. Teacher goals Bernie. That's this one. Teacher goals Bernie, right? This looks like a river. It's hard to tell. River Bernie. Winter Bernie. Paradise Bernie. Bernie's Paradise. On top of the world. Is that New York? What skyline is that? It's hard to tell. King of New York, Bernie. I don't know. So I made all of these, last night just to try to come up with some for this podcast. This one I really like. I don't know what to write, but it's just like, it just speaks to me. Yep. Bernie by the beach. We got that one. We got Beach Bernie and Bernie by the beach. It's a couple that we could use that for. I like that Bernie in outer space. Intergalactic Bernie. That's what I'll call that. Intergalactic Bernie. Yeah. Autumn. Bernie, autumn. I don't know. Autumn leaves. I don't know. Another Bernie by the beach. Yep. I'm going to call this middle of the road Bernie. There's a couple like that. This is one road. Desert Bernie. I don't know. I love the color of these trees. Bernie in the fall. I have no idea what this is. I just put random backgrounds. This reminds me of the warehouse from Bruce Almighty, that where he was speaking to God. I know I'm going by fast. Now, this reminds me of those memes where the person fades into the bushes, that Bart Simpson meme. It's not that. It's something different. I think it's just grass, but I forgot where my car is, Bernie. Groundhog Bernie. That's one. Okay. Is that Groundhog Bernie right there? Just Bernie. It's just a white room. I'm going to call this Mini Bernie because it looks like he's very small on this floor with his brick wall. Another middle of the road Bernie. I've got a few that are like that. Oh, this looks like the Oculus. I don't know where he is, but it's awesome architecture. Middle of the road Bernie. And of course, the one that I made, Bernie in the spotlight. That's the one that I put up on my Instagram. Oh, some more teacher vacations. Yep, middle of the road. Yeah. All right, enough of that. I'm going to stop the share. So that was just to add a little levity into the thing. Now I'm going to show you the one that's my favorite. And this is someone who passed away recently, someone in the hip hop community. And we're going to say RIP to him. And somebody actually made a meme combining this person with Bernie Sanders. And I really like it. And this is my favorite of all of them right now. So I think we'll end on this. See if I can get it up there. Yeah. Let me know in the chat if you know who this is, who this person is, who wears the gladiator mask. It's a figure in hip hop. Shout out to all his family, friends, and followers. And RIP MF Doom, aka Metal Face, and another creative that we've lost too young. I think he was 49. I'm not sure, but yeah, definitely. We don't have any information on the cause of death, but passed away recently. And if you go to my website, mcmireport.com, I have a post showcasing a new song that came out that was produced by MF Doom. That was he's not rapping on it. He made the beat on that one. And it was Homeboy Sandman and A$AP Rocky. They put out a single a couple weeks ago. And I threw it on the top of the website. So go check that out if you're a fan of hip hop. It's a good song. The beat is dope. Those guys are spitters. A$AP Rocky and Homeboy Sandman. Shouts to them. So that's about it. I'm going to end it off for today. But tune in. Thanks for coming. Tune in next Sunday. See what we're talking about. We'll have some guests. And yeah, welcome to the Cyber Sky. Let's learn something and let's talk about it next week. Don't forget to follow us on all those social medias and tell your friends about this podcast and share it on your socials. All right. Until next time, everybody, stay blessed. I appreciate those of you that came and joined in the conversation with us. And I hope to see you and even more people next week as we continue on the Cyber Sky podcast on Cyber Sky videos. Have a great day.